I'm going to just do this up as a brief warning video. I don't want to put away too many spoilers. There is a spoiler. You need Path of Fire. I'm going to put that in. It's not a spoiler. I'm not going to say too much more. Some minor spoilers in this. So yesterday we were doing a bit of an achievement thing, or a collection, I suppose. I don't know what you call it, for the chair thing, which ended up turning into a bit of a disaster, because it starts off innocently enough and it just gets harder and harder and harder until it gets to where the person I was doing with didn't have the gear they needed to do it, and didn't really have a warning of that was going to happen, and it was buggy too. But anyway, Someone in Need it's called. Did come up with the idea of, what if a free account came across it? Is it actually available to free account? Because obviously a free account can't complete it because it does have expansions involved, but I'm wondering if a free account can even see it. So we're going to go have a look at Lion's Arch and see if a free account could even start it.
What is it?
I think it was very confusing because the other guys started. I was busy in the middle of Chalice at the time, so the other guys started without me, and I sort of did a catch up, and it became a bit of a bit confusing as to what stage I was even up to. Let's go find the cave. I didn't even know this cave existed. It's amazing. Has this cave always existed? Because it's an odd one, because this cave seems to be off the side of the map. This is really bizarre. Anyway. Okay, so we go in this cave. Okay. Wow. Well, let me start this.
Please, I need your assistance. She escaped with countless treasures of the Divinity's Reach.
Oh, wow.
It's not showing off if you earned it.
I'll tell you everything.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this could be a problem. So essentially, we can start this achievement with this character, which obviously Arena wants people to buy the game, and people should buy the game. But essentially, even if you just you buy the game, even if you buy the game, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to buy all the expansions. But that's interesting that it where does that go? Where did that go? It goes in my achievements, right? So that's gone into Someone in Need there. So yeah. Wow. I can start this achievement. It doesn't really give you any hints though, does it? It just says Collective History Part 1. Hold on. Helps Zinnia track down the thief and free her from her bindings. Okay. Now let's pretend I don't have any wiki pages. What do I do? I've just wandered into this cave. I'm going to pretend I know nothing about this thing. Half this brain, this part of me here. What's going on? And then I'm going to have another person over here going, yeah, well, you're in trouble, dude. So I don't know how I'm going to play this. So we've come into here. We've walked into this cave, which is something you can wander into. And we talked to this girl. Did she tell us anything? Oh, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Let's read everything and get what we're working. I chased a little darling all the way here from Divinity's Reach. I don't know how she managed to wiggle her way into the archive, but here we are. She escaped with priceless records. Is there anything I can do to help? I appreciate your assistance. The first clue she read The first clue she left me reads, poor guy, he got trapped down there all on his own. Did I help him get out? No, but I did get shrunk down to the size of the ant. Okay. And then? Total 1 of 13 steps completed. So, yeah, okay. If I didn't know any better, I'd go, okay. I mean, I guess the fear was there was at the time, everyone thought it was a temporary thing, a time limited that had to be done during Mad King, and of course now we know it's here for a long time, and so it's not as big a deal because even if you're on a free account, you might buy it later, and it's only for a invisible chair. It's not like we're something major. We're not doing some mastery point or something really cool. It is a cool chair. Well, it's not really. You don't get a chair. It's just the ability to sit on nothing. So, yeah. Doesn't really tell you what to do next. I can't even remember what is next, actually. Oh, tiny. Okay, wow, that's very vague. The first clue she left rereads, per guy, he got trapped down there on his own. Did I help him get out? No, but I did get shrunk down to the size of an ant. Wow, that is so cryptic. If you know your jumping puzzles really well and you're thinking extremely laterally, and you might think about it, because there is a jumping puzzle, of course, that, and I only know this because I've been there and I know what this is all about. Would that tell you to go to the, what's it called? Chaos, I call it the crappy crystal caverns. The Chaos Crystal Caverns, where you do get shrunk when you're running around on those things. But wow, would you really put 2 and 2 together and get 42 like that? So that's the Chaos Crystal Caverns she's talking about, but wow, it doesn't really give you a hint or anything, does it? Wow. I mean, where are Chaos Crystal Caverns? I'm in level 80 on this, aren't I? Is there a mark on the map or anything? No. There is nothing to give you a hint for that. This is, so I don't even know what I'm doing. Is this a video? As a video, I'm not even sure what I'm doing here, but yeah, so the backstory is, like I say, we did do this, and it doesn't give you any hints of what any of this is about. If you didn't have a wiki to go to and go look up and say, oh, the next one's here, the next one's here, and the next one's, oh, we're doing a bunch of jumping puzzles, and which get worse and worse. And most of they're in the normal world. I mean, some of them, like this one's in a higher level, but some of them are in like starter areas, or at least fairly low areas. So that's fine. But then they get into places like, then they get into expansions without sort of warning, and they get into Heart of Thorns, and then Path of Fire. That's the hard bit, really, is because eventually you're in Path of Fire. I don't have anything on this character, and you know, and a free character. I've now been allowed to start this, and if I put on my I have no clue.
You're not.
Yeah.
Didn't even send their best to chase me down. Good luck keeping up.
I know I was rushing this a lot yesterday and everything. I thought that was a little girl. I thought we were chasing around a little girl, but I think April is not a little girl. I think she's an adult. And I know it was late and I was in a big hurry and everything, but there was kids involved. I'm sure there was kids involved. Oh. So we're going to go into the. Oh, I'm lost. We're going to go into the puzzle. No, we're not. We're going the wrong way, are we? Oh, no, we're the right way. I didn't realise this was under there. So a lot of people are doing this thing. Is this new or something? It must be new. Because people are definitely doing it. You can see these people running around here like idiots. That means they're doing it, right? Yeah. Wow. And I'm able to start this with a free character. There is no way I can finish this with a free character. Oh dear. Wow. So I'm going to just do this up as a brief warning video. I don't want to put away too many spoilers. There is a spoiler. You need Path of Fire. I'm going to put that in. It's not a spoiler. I'm not going to say too much more. Some minor spoilers in this. You're going to need Ender Dragon. Not Ender Dragon. You don't need Ender Dragons. You need Path of Fire, and you also, and because obviously you also need Heart of Thorns. You need Heart of Thorns map because you have to go to Tangled Depths, and you're going to need Path of Fire, and the area of Path of Fire you're going to get to go to is obvious. It doesn't really matter. Well, I know the person I was with yesterday didn't have that, but you're really going to need a bunny. What's a bunny called? Whatever the bunny's called, I can remember. Springer. You're going to need a Springer to finish this. You're going to need Springer and some gliding. Yeah, Springer and gliding. Minimum. You're going to need those expansions, the first 2 expansions, and Springer as an absolute minimum before you start. I mean, you can't start, but before you finish it, you're going to need those things. So if you're starting this and you don't have those things, be prepared to have to do them. And you're going to have to do one of my least favourite puzzles in Path of Fire as well. Certainly up there. Can I say rune lock doors? I suppose I can. That's probably not going to mean much. You're going to need to do rune lock doors, which is a pain. So be warned. A lot of these jumping puzzles, especially these early ones, like this one, because there are a few. Morgan's Leap is one you're going to have to do. Dark Reverie. This one. There's a few jumping puzzles involved. Yeah, okay, that's slight spoilers, but chances are to get through this thing, you're going to be reading a page and watching some videos, from my experience. So be warned. Someone in need is something you're going to need some stuff for. So if you come along and you start up with a new character like this, be warned. Okay, I've got to go here and change that to equals, because that N is just not in a good spot. Yeah, one of these things is not like the others, and I'm not sure how you figure that out. I don't know. The one that keeps running, maybe, or something. Guess it's that one. So, yeah, that's a spoiler. I've given you the first one, but you're going to be watching things anyway. So, be warned. Be warned. You can start this hateful thing. It's worth doing. It's going to take you places that you may not want to be, but if you are willing to do jumping puzzles, it's doable. I did it. You're going to need a bunny, and you're going to need expansions. So be warned. So another note I just noticed, yeah, if you leave the map and if you say do this bit and leave the map, you'll have to do it again. So we do this again. See which one keeps running. That one keeps running. So we get that guy. An object has revealed itself nearby. So once you actually get that girl there, of course, and oh look, there's an object up there on top of that pole at the end of the jumping puzzle, as you can see. So that's where you got to get there, which means you got to do this jumping puzzle, which is a really terrible jumping puzzle. See my other video on the subject. Do I feel like doing the jumping puzzle? I don't know. I don't know if I do. I don't know if I feel like doing the jumping puzzle. I have done this one on the free. It's a bit of a problem because I feel like I should put a portal occasionally. Have I done this one? I must have done this one on free, right? I always do this one on first person because it zooms in and out and do all sorts of things. So it's worth, I know it seems hard, but I think it's worth it. Just look down and do it. Oh, and nearly went off that one. Oh dear. Now, I might feel like I'm zoomed in wrong. I'll put a portal down anyway here. Beauty about a portal, you can sort of do a few jumps in between. Is it about done? How we go on? 32 seconds. Wow. Okay. Zoom out. Wait till that portal's gone. Interact, and we've done that bit. So, do we have to read this, I wonder? As I begin pinning this chronic for behalf of this organisation, how important is this, I wonder? Some interesting history. Should we do a screenshot of it? Yeah, so, and then what? Just says return. Okay, so it says return dial there. So someone is porting, so it must be fairly new. That is weird. Wow. So, yeah. A very, very cryptic clue to get you there. How long have I been recording this? Half an hour, or nearly. So, yeah, wow. So then we can go back. Now we can actually go back here. That is weird. That is weird. So yeah, I'm not going to do all of that with this character because I can't. Okay, oh, you've returned. Does that mean you found her? Oh, thank the Val. She got away, so I need to keep looking. Oh, bother. Looks like you recovered one of the documents. Hold it up for me to see. It was marked with a mesmer illusion. It reads, I grew up exploring these ruins. I wonder what this place was used for. Have you seen the troll, April? I wonder where she's gone this time. I grew up exploring these ruins. I wonder where this place was used for. Are you kidding me? How are you supposed to know anything about these things if you didn't have a guide? How did people find out about these things? How did they know? How do people find these things? Okay, it's all we're telling us is we don't know what the place was used for. There's some explore some ruins, and have you seen the troll? That is not enough to go on. That is not enough to go on. It doesn't tell you anything. I thought the first one was vague. I mean, I know where that one is because it's somebody else has worked it out. That is sad because that one's in Kessex Hills, right? That's the Kessex Hills one. I mean, it doesn't give you a mark, or does it? Like, there's no mark here. I think it put some sort of little mark on the map or something, but it doesn't. Wow. So, be warned. Be warned. Yeah, be warned. Game server's not connecting goodly. Yeah, not going to go any further than that. This has been half an hour by the time I edit a bit. I think this is the second part. I'd have to look up the wiki to be sure. So.
Yeah, she did pretty good with that one.
Oh, and there she is. Wow. I didn't notice half of these things. I was rushing around so much trying to catch up. There it is, but it's not on the map. Okay, they really need much better. This needs much better to be done, much better than this. I mean, luckily we've got some really talented people work these things out, I guess. But wow. Wow. Again, this one here, you essentially need to do the jump puzzle. Most of them you seem to need to do the jump puzzle, or some of them had bits hidden where it wasn't on the route of the jump puzzle, which was a bit of a problem, but this one here definitely is. If you follow on the jump puzzle, I think you can get all of them more or less. There's ones here, one's sort of just before you drop down to where the chest is, and then one's underneath the chest, and then you got the three. You've got to go through the jump puzzle pretty quick. So, yep, yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this video. I'll just put it up as a warning. you will need some expansions and a bunny. Be warned. Be warned before you start. Feel free to start. Just go into it knowing that it goes a long way. It goes a fair way. You can do it in a day if you've done a lot of the stuff already. You can do it in a day easy enough, or a few hours. I mean, in one session. If you haven't done the ruin locked doors, that's going to take you longer, and you're going to need friends. Going to need friends in that one, because it's, or at least try and work in with the people who are there, because that can be pretty hard. So, yep, I'll put this up as a warning. I think. Later. Subscribing and liking means more fluff.